I am so sorry. Another part of Katie vs. Penny season one. I am so sorry. Um, we had an alert like the phone is gonna overeat, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the video, but it was an alert from this morning, so it didn't really matter. So still season one, episode 4. I'm not gonna do an intro. I'm sorry. It's just because the last one is so small. So yeah. People, Spenny doesn't prepare, and he comes in and it's like, holy shit, I'm gonna be the best. But Kenya has only a small preparation to do, and he wins. That being said, Spenny goes to a hot dog stand, and he asks the guy, hey, "Is this guy cheating?" And it feels like it feels like a commercial spot. So, for example, Spenny's like, "Oh, these are the best hot dog ever." Get a lot of comment here. It does feel like a publicity for the hot dog guy. Just for him to say like, "Oh, Kenny's cheating." However, what is really interesting about this competition is that they bring in a certain Jack. Jack is an older gentleman, super scholar, super well educated, and he's biased. He knows both Kenny and Spenny. We don't really know what relationship they have to him. I think either as a teacher, possibly went to the same synagogue because they're both Jewish. But they both know him. So then, so Spenny explained the situation, and then Jack is saying, "Oh, you call him a cheater? Is he cheating?" And then the funniest thing is, at first, Jack, and this is kind of complex. Jack comes in and he gives the points to Spenny. Like, yeah, you're kind of leaning. It's not. And then Kenny's insisting. He's like, no, really, my legs are still on the ground. I'm still standing still. You could argue that I'm standing. And then Jack is like, yeah, you can make an argument. You could make an argument. Or it is another episode of another season. First one to talk loses. And Kenny sleeps talking to sleep, right? But then he's not really talking, he's making noise. And yes, he does make a noise, but since he's not talking, legality or legality oblige that I gotta take care of this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, as simple as it is, the competition doesn't end. They agree to a gentleman agreement, so they have this square, and they have to stay in this square. However, Kenny puts in itchy powder from a prank shop, and Spenny's legs are itchy. But there's another competition. There's another competition. First one to stop dancing loses, where Spenny has danced for 3 days and Kenny hasn't. So when it comes to dancing, Kenny has all of his energy. Spenny is almost dead. You know. So yeah, so Kenny wins. I don't remember the humiliation. Sorry. The thing is, the humiliation is in my opinion, the humiliation is the most interesting thing the first time you watch it. The second time you watch it, the third time you watch it, it's actually pretty boring. Like, this is not this is just humiliating someone, and this is just like oh, there's no strategy. I like strategy. Season 1, episode 5. Who can sit on the cow the longest? Possibly one of my favorite, one of my favorite competition. Such a super weird competition. However, it is something kind of unique. Nobody would have done that in the history of mankind, and I don't think that anybody else has done it after them. A cow, one of the first domesticated animals, first of all. So they go in. Pretty simple show. I'm not gonna spend a long time because this one. It's one of the more it's one of the tamer one. So you both have this. The specialist. So Spenny goes to see specialist. He goes to see a veterinarian who tells him about the cow and how it is. It's super funny. Kenny just chill. Kenny's strategy, and this is when I start really liking Kenny. Really liking Kenny. Kenny goes to a. This is strategy, by the way. He goes to a. He goes to a whatchamacallit. He goes to a to like a steakhouse, I guess, and he eats a steak. And he said, tomorrow when I'm gonna be sitting on the cow, I know that yesterday I ate a part of his body, so I'm the superior being. And it's about energy. So it's really smart because it's like, mentally speaking, I'll know that I'm dominant. No matter how big the cow is, I will have eat a steak yesterday that was made with cow. They both go in. Not a lot to say. Spenny goes in and he has his team. It's really sweet because He's going to see these farmer girls. Um, he's going to see these farmer girls, and he has poops. And the girl kind of like say, "Hey, I'll wash it for you. Don't worry." So you see, there's really kind people in the world, which is really sweet. But then then Spenny doesn't really care. It's like, "Hey, I got poop here. Can you clean it up?" So you're like, "Okay, what the heck?" Um, Otherwise, Kenny also, what he does is he goes to a field and he goes to see cows. So he doesn't, and it's kind of cool because it reminds him of how, like, what should we call it? Um, he goes to see the farmer. Now, because Kenny was more involved in the production and his team was more involved in production, they knew the farm they were going to go for the cow. So Kenny asked, "Oh, see, this is too hot. It's okay." Because they know what the farm is. Kenny goes in. It's like, "Yo, I know what the farm is. Which cow is the calmest?" So the farmer's like, "Yo, this cow is pretty chill." So Kenny's like, "Okay, no problem. This cow is pretty chill. We'll just enjoy it." So he choose her. Now comes the competition. Kenny puts coffee, and he puts coffee into the feed of the cow. They both bring feeds, so the cows like them. The funny thing is, Kenny met the cow yesterday, and when he comes in, she remember him. She remember, oh, that guy is nice. She knows his scent. She knows what he looks like. I don't know if that's possibly the way that they recognize people, but he knows him. So when he comes, it's not like, who is this guy? It's like, oh yeah, I saw him once or twice. So then he throw a toy, and the toy freaks out Kenny versus Penny, and this is why Kenny versus Penny is such a special show, because the show lasts 30 minutes. Oops. Okay, so this doesn't work, and this works. Good. I'll have to do this for a second. So this is why Kenny vs. Penny is really fantastic, because the show lasts 20 minutes. The competition lasts for a couple minutes. Spenny loses because he's kicked out. But the funniest thing is, Kenny Cow, she didn't even move. She didn't even move. He threw a toy that was making noise. So the cow got spooked. That's it. So the competition, oh, for fuck's sake, when the same mistake. This is what happened when you're ADHD. The humiliation is Spenny is buried till neck deep into cow manure, which is actually kind of funny. Now we do have some of the greatest episodes coming up. We got season 1, episode 6, which is, ladies and gentlemen, it is Who is the Sanest? Who is the Sanest is clearly a great competition. So I have this I really do like this I really do like competition where there's judge who is better. So for example, who does black guy likes better, who does old people like better, who does disabled people like better, because it's just about a judge and jury, right? And I do like those episodes because otherwise it would always be this makes the whole universe of Kenny vs. Penny bigger. So in this one, they're gonna go see some shrinks, and they're gonna go and see some. It's so fucking funny. This episode is great. Trust me, it's great. And it is the first defeat of Kenny. The first defeat of Kenny. Yeah, the first defeat of Kenny. Can you believe that shit? So they go in and say, okay, well, they're gonna go see 3 shrinks, and because they go see 3 shrinks, they're gonna say, who's the smartest, who is the calmest, shit like that, right? This phone is already fucking warm, dude. I'm gonna close because it's overeating. Gosh damn it.